Hey guys, Becky Timms here on Thursday on my lunch break. Welcome to The Drive at 5. And today I wanted to share with you where you can find books to sell on Amazon. So this is where you can find books to sell on Amazon. So remember, the last time I went live, it was on a Tuesday night, and I was in downtown Charleston, and I was sharing with you how you can find books by going dumpster diving when the college kids move out of their apartments or houses for the summer. And so I was actually downtown Charleston meeting one of my clients, and we had just had dinner, and I was like, oh, I want to do a drive at 5 about this. And I did it really quickly because she was there with me and I had fun with it, right? But I saw someone at the baseball game later, and they were like, Becky, I saw your video, but I had no clue what you were talking about. So I wanted to do a more in-depth training on what you can do. So as you know, textbooks are a really good seller on Amazon. And so the two best times to sell textbooks are actually before the spring semester and before the fall semester. That's the best time to sell them, but the best time to find them are after the spring semester, after the summer semester, and after the fall semester. So you can find books now, especially if you live in a college town. Now, please check with your local districts and cities and their ordinances, because sometimes you cannot go dumpster diving. Have you ever been dumpster diving before? You know, when I did this video, I didn't actually go digging in those dumpsters. I was just showing that as an example, but I have went dumpster diving before. And so the next morning, my son and I were re-watching the Facebook Live, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to tell you about the time that I actually got in a dumpster. So I'll never forget it. I was in the 7th grade, and it's the exact same grade that my son is in now. And it was in home economics class. And when I was in high school, guys, I had to make straight A's. I was that type of student. Like, I was the type of student that would bust the curve for everybody. And so we were in home economics, and we had to make a house. And in our house, we had to put like individual rooms. We were designing a house, and we were supposed to decorate it and do all these cool things, right? Well, I was like, I know nothing about building a house, or, you know, I grew up very poor. I did very good to have my little bed in my bedroom, right? There was no decorations or anything. And so a very good friend of our family, his name was Sean, and unfortunately he passed away many years ago in a car accident, but he was very dear to our family, and he was a little bit older than me. So he was not old enough to drive. So if I was like 13, he might have been 14. And he lived like literally 4 houses down. It was a good country mile down the road. And I said, Sean, and I'm going to pick up this salad, but I'm behind the store because they said it would be like 10 minutes before it was ready. And so that's why I'm telling you this story now. But anyway, we drove to the dumpster, and there were 5 dumpsters. There was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I was looking for a box to do my school project of making a home to show out the room. 5 dumpsters there, and out of these 5 dumpsters, I looked in this one, and I swear there was nothing in there but one box. Only one box. And it was the summertime, because I remember I had on little sandals. And so I said, Sean, I'm gonna jump in there and get that box. There was nothing else in there. So I jumped in this one dumpster. It was like the second one in out of 5. Nothing in there but a box, or that one box. So I jumped in to get the box, and as I was getting ready to climb out, Sean goes, Becky, stay down, there's somebody pulling up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get busted in this dumpster, right? So I'm in the dumpster. I'm like crouched down in this corner over here. I'm looking up at the trees above me. And out of all 5 dumpsters there, this person, I couldn't see them, they decided to throw their trash in my dumpster. So I'm a little, 13-year-old girl crouched down over here, and he threw his trash, and it landed like right here in the middle of the corner. So he didn't hit me, so that was good. So I was like, whew, and he had 2 bags of trash, so he had like kaplunk twice. So I thought it was over, but no, guys, it was not over. It was a dude, and he decided that he had to pee. Now, I'm a little girl crouched in the corner. The trash can was high, so I couldn't see anything. But I saw him when he walked around to this corner. So I'm looking up at him. I could hear him like zip down his pants, and he started to pee. And I'm like looking at him. I couldn't see his body. I could see his face, and I didn't know who it was. And he was like looking all around, up at the trees. And then he looked down at me. Guys, it was crazy. It was like he stopped peeing immediately, and he looked at me and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." By this time I'm like crying, right? And so he looked at Sean, who acted like he was cleaning out my mama's car, and he looked at Sean and he was like, "Is she with you?" And Sean's like, "Who?" And so he didn't even acknowledge that I was with him, that I was this dumpster diving girl. And I was so embarrassed. I climbed out. The man helped me get out of the dumpster. And actually Sean was like, "Oh, hey, Becky, what are you doing in the dumpster?" And I was like, "I was trying to get this box." Didn't even get the darn box, y'all. So I went home, ended up making my home economics project out of a shoebox. I did make an A on it, but I'll never ever forget that story. But I told my son that story, that I got busted dumpster diving. But you can make a ton of money dumpster diving. And in my neighborhood where I live now, our trash day is on Monday. And so we put our trash can out on Sunday night, and there are people that go around and actually collect junk, what I would think is junk, but one man's trash is another man's treasure. And so he may be buying it for scrap metal, or picking it up for scrap metal. He may be doing like shabby chic with these products. There's no telling what they're doing with them. They may be even reselling them on eBay or Amazon, you never know, refurbishing them, refixing them, and selling them. But I just want to know, there's actually a book, it's called From the Trash Man to the Cash Man, and you can look it up. It's like there's a ton of money in trash, not only with books, but with a lot of other things. I know in the past I've heard of many sellers going to the trash cans behind these major retailers, and they would find items that they could sell that were new. I don't know if they still do it now, but they would just dispose of the items behind the store. I remember when I was in a foster care, my older foster care brother, he worked at this store that was a grocery store, and their Klondike bars expired, like all their ice cream. And so the whole store, they just dumped all their ice cream in the dumpster behind them. And I remember when David came home and he told our foster parents, and they were like, "Let's go get ice cream." Guys, we had so much darn ice cream when I was in foster care. It was ridiculous. I mean, they just fed us all these Klondike bars. Now, they were expired for the store. Now, Klondike bars are still in their little package of 6 or whatever, but we ate Klondike bars forever and ever and ever. So not only did I get busted in the trash can, my foster brother, when he worked, he told us about my foster parents about the Klondike bars. So they went and got Klondike bars. We had them like their trash can was full of those. And so you can make a lot of money from the trash to cash. So that's what I wanted to share with you all today on The Drive at 5. My name is Becky Timms. If you want some more helpful tips and tricks, and if you'd like to get on my newsletter, send me a message and I will invite you to get on my e-newsletter, and I will give you a ton of tips and tricks so that you can make a lot of money on Amazon and on eBay. Hope you all have an amazing Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow on The Drive at 5. Bye.